Welcome back to another video, guys, and as you can tell by the title of this video, we are doing a full day of eating Korean food. Let's go. Alright, Cupcake, time to go on the stove. Guys, obviously I'm just kidding. Cupcake's too adorable to do that. But all jokes aside, I've never really made Korean food in my entire life. And I've realized the older that I get, the more that I crave Korean food, and taste and the smell of it just takes me back home. So today we're going to be doing some experimenting. It's going to be awesome, so sit back, relax, and get ready to be schooled on some Korean foodie culture. So first things first is Dalgona Coffee. Now you guys probably have seen this across TikTok or Instagram, but this is what it looks like. It's been a huge staple across Korea as of lately, and it's pretty simple to make, so let's get into it. It requires some instant coffee, sugar, and then hot water. We're just gonna go ahead and whisk this up and we'll take a look at it in just a second. So here's what the solution's looking like after whisking away for a few minutes. If you have an electric mixer, probably recommend you using that, but the solution's basically supposed to have peaks. Looks like we're almost there. I'm just gonna whisk away just a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and set up the cup and pour some of the almond milk. Guys, how good is this looking? Look at this beautiful concoction. Super simple to make and really didn't take a whole lot of time, to be honest. If you have a whisker that's not electronic, you can definitely do this in just a couple of minutes. It really didn't take too long. But we're gonna go ahead and give this a good mixeroo and then see how this thing tastes. If you guys are into cold brews or maybe even iced coffees, iced lattes, definitely try this out. This is a super simple recipe to make, and right now it's a little early in the afternoon, so we're gonna go ahead and hop into the next recipe. Alright guys, so we've got cold noodle soup, and this is what it looks like. So if any of you guys have visited a Korean store, your local H-Mart, which is probably the more popular one across the States, we'll probably have this, and it's pretty simple to make. It essentially has a broth that comes with it and then a package of noodles. So when you think of it, it actually kind of reminds me of Top Ramen. We've got buckwheat noodles, which is going to be a little chewier than most other types of noodles. Then we've also got the broth. Then we've got a cucumber, which I'm going to dice up along with an Asian pear. And if you haven't had an Asian pear, these are really, really sweet. So we got everything cut up. We've got the cucumbers, the egg, the pear, and the noodles. These noodles only need to be cooked maybe about 15 seconds to a minute. They're meant to be a little chewy, so if you guys do try this out at home, just know that that's what's to be expected. But here we go, we've got our broth. This broth is typically frozen, and you know, I could have probably spent the last couple of days making a traditional homemade broth, but this is just an easier way to go. So I froze this overnight and then let it de-thaw for the last few minutes. You can see that it's kind of like a nice slush. So this soup is actually traditionally made to be cold, which is the reason why this is called cold noodle soup. So you can go ahead and leave it as kind of like a slush, kind of like an icy, and then also put in some additional ice cubes or just leave as is. Alright guys, you know the rules. One slurp. Gotta give myself a pat on the back. So the best way that I can describe this soup to you guys is it is a very muted flavor. It's got a little bit of it can be made sometimes with beef or chicken broth, sometimes with anchovy broth, but the flavor profile is pretty dull. But when you add in a pear, cucumber, and egg, it adds a little more dimension to the flavor profile. And so there's a little bit of sweetness along with a little bit of savory. And the combination of that along with the noodles just is on point. All right guys, we're back for the final recipe tonight, and I'm making dinner slightly earlier than normal because I want to make sure we can take advantage of this natural light that we have going on. But with that being said, this dish is very, very easy to make, and you can really kind of do your own thing with it. The base of it is usually just a bed of rice along with a bunch of different toppings on top. So this is something that you'll probably find or have already tried at a Korean American restaurant or maybe even food trucks. And the whole purpose of this dish is to be easy and flexible. So today we've got a number of different ingredients here. We've got some proteins, our vegetables, and then we also obviously have our sesame oil along with the infamous red pepper paste. Alright guys, so this is what the bowl looks like. Now we've got the egg that we're gonna put on top. Overcook the egg just slightly a little bit, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Alright, so now next up we've got the good old piece de resistance red chili pepper paste. This is gonna definitely give the bowl a nice little kick, give it that sweet and tangy flavor, and then we're gonna go ahead and mix this all up, and you've got yourself a really, really bomb rice bowl. The Korean rice bowl is just a beautiful chaos of ingredients, and you can customize this to however you want. You know, if you don't like carrots, you can throw something else in there. You don't like cucumbers, throw something else in there. But I will say the sesame oil and the red pepper paste really bring this dish together and all the different flavor profiles into just one freaking awesome dish. But pro tip, if you guys ever make rice and you guys are trying to meal prep or use it for the future, just cook a huge batch, let it steam off, and then put them into Ziploc bags or plastic containers, throw them into the freezer, and you've got quick and easy rice that's ready to go in just a couple of minutes, because then you can take it out and throw it into the microwave, throw it in for a few minutes, and then you're ready to go. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you're new, the channel's about finding ways to be better than yesterday. And one way to do that is by learning new experiences, things, workouts, foods. Why not? Give it a shot. And if you enjoyed the video, learned a thing or two, maybe picked up a new recipe, give this video a thumbs up. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.